Happening now, a record-setting winter storm is expected to wreak havoc on our region. Coming up, we're breaking down what we know about the impact this system will have on Jamestown and why the cost to take out the trash here locally is going up. Plus, a local nursing home is giving back to their employees this holiday season in a big way, sending some on a all-expense-paid vacation.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
And thank you for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould. Those stories and more are coming up, but first, a massive winter storm is expected to bring record-like blizzard conditions over the Christmas holiday later this week and into the weekend. Joining us at the top of the show is Chief Weather Forecaster Andrew Stevenson with what we know at this hour, Andrew, about this very impressive storm.
Yes, right now we're talking about the calm before the storm today and tomorrow. There's not much happening across the region right now, but off to our west there are winter storm watches already posted for portions of Illinois and Indiana. And as we go across the next few days, don't be surprised if these winter storm watches and even high wind watches will begin to be posted across western New York and Pennsylvania as we get closer to the storm. I'll give you more details of that storm coming up in full weather. But first, right now across western New York, out there, nothing happening. Mainly cloudy across western New York, but the clouds are starting to break up out across Erie, Pennsylvania. You'll see it on the Erie News Now cam, which shows that sunshine peeking through the clouds out there. I don't think we're going to get into that sunshine here in western New York, limited sunshine in the afternoon, but we will get into some sunshine heading into tomorrow. For the rest of the afternoon out there, mainly cloudy skies, limited sunshine, temperatures slightly below average. Average will go into upper 20s at the hilltops to lower 30s across the lower elevations. Now we do have that big winter storm coming up. I'll give you those full details coming up in the full weather forecast in a few minutes, Justin.
All right, Andrew, thank you very much. And be sure to stay on top of the storm throughout the week by downloading the WNY News Now mobile app. It's free in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store to follow along with our First Defense weather forecast. Well, a Georgia woman will spend up to 7 years behind bars in connection with a fatal wrong-way crash on Interstate 86 here in Chautauqua County. On Monday, 33-year-old Heather Capel was sentenced by Judge David Foley to 1 1/3 to 4 years in prison after she was convicted of criminally negligent homicide in October. Capel was indicted last fall on charges of vehicular manslaughter and driving while ability impaired by a combination of drugs in connection with the July 2021 crash. As a result of the collision, 51-year-old Bradley Wakefield of Cattaraugus suffered fatal injuries. A 28-year-old man wanted by law enforcement in northern Chautauqua County is in police custody today after allegedly threatening to kill a person in Jamestown. Officers with Jamestown Police responded to a south side address at about 6 o'clock on Sunday for a man attempting to kick down a door of a residence. When officers arrived on scene, they arrested Trey Butchman after he matched the description of the suspect provided to police. Following an investigation, officers alleged that he threatened to kill a person and then attempted to kick open their door in the process. Butcham was taken into custody and charged with criminal mischief and harassment. He also had an outstanding warrant for his arrest by the Dunkirk Police Department. Well, 2 measures addressing public meeting live streams and city council ward boundaries were approved by local lawmakers in Jamestown on Monday night. Our Bronson Rasmussen joins us live now from the newsroom today with more on these 2 new local laws. Bronson?
Justin, the first ordinance allows officials to record and live stream public meetings, an action that Council President Tony Dulce says has already been happening for the past few years. This law would also allow members to attend and participate in these meetings virtually as long as a minimum number of members are physically present.
Basically just codifies what we've already been doing so that our boards, our commissions, our council meetings, everything is live streamed. And also we now have the ability to, if we're sick or out of town, we can zoom in on a meeting and participate on a meeting as well. So we've already been doing this for ever since COVID started, and we continue to do it even after, after quarantining and all the restrictions were lifted. So we've already been doing it, so this just basically made it official as part of our city charter.
For municipalities, if they wanted to continue video conferencing, they had to adopt a local law to authorize the continued use of live streaming in New York State. The other local law approved council ward boundary line changes, which is reassessed every 10 years following the U.S. Census.
And it's the process of, taking the city, dividing it up into the 6 wards, and getting it back to as close to even as possible. And so it really is just a process of moving a street here or there to even it out.
Before the measures take full effect, Jamestown Mayor Eddie Sundquist will hold 2 sessions to gauge feedback from the community.
So both local laws, now that they've been passed by City Council, will go to the mayor's office. The mayor then conducts a hearing, which is a public hearing on the matter. Before I can sign off on any local law or veto it, I do need to have a public hearing.
These 2 hearings are scheduled for Wednesday, December 28th, starting at 4:45. If there are no major objections, they would head to the mayor's desk for a signature and ratification into law. Live in the newsroom, Bronson Rasmussen, WNY News Now.
Bronson, thank you. The cost to take out the trash here in Jamestown, it's going up next year. On Monday, the Jamestown Board of Public Utilities approved their 2023 budget, which includes a price increase for solid waste customers. Now, the utilities general manager says garbage collection went up significantly in 2022, including fuel expenses, landfill tipping fees, and labor expenses. In fact, the division is expected in the end to have a net loss. As a result, trash collection rates are increasing to $1.50 per month. However, if households recycle at least once a billing period, a 50-cent rebate would be issued. Jamestown Mayor Eddie Sundquist believes this is a fair increase.
This is to account for the cost of labor, the cost of where we transport the waste. All of those items have seen some increased costs. So overall, we think that is a very minimal increase for the actual cost that we pay in order to remove solid waste.
Dumpster service rates are doubling for 2023 as well. Other BPU services like the electric division did not see a rate adjustment. As WNY News Now continues, heart attack holiday, why Christmas tends to trigger the life-threatening emergency in many. And later, giving back to those on the front lines, we tell you what local nursing home is sending their employees on an all-paid expense vacation this Christmas season. Stay with us. WNY News Now will be right back.
Wishing you a safe and happy holiday season. WNY News Now, the Jolly Team, where coverage comes first.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor.
Testicular cancer is the leading form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35.
1 in 250 men will be diagnosed with testicular cancer.
But 98% will survive if detected early.
As a survivor, I believe early detection is the key. Learn how to do a testicular self-exam and other important facts about testicular cancer at oneball4tc.com.
Looking for a fair and honest auto mechanic? Look no further than DeWyas Auto Service. Located at 140 Main Street in Randolph, our family-owned business is ready for all of your automotive needs. From general service to more complex repairs, count on DeWyas Auto to keep you on the road. We not only keep your cars running smoothly, but also looking great with our expert detailing crew. Send us a message on Facebook or call us today at 716-358-2292 to set up an appointment. DeWyas Auto Service. Fair, honest, and the best prices guaranteed.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
The Warren County Commissioners are seeking consulting services to receive proposals from qualified firms to assist with the expansion, construction, and deployment of broadband to the county. The goal is to expand service to areas that currently don't have access to the internet, or worse, the connection is currently insufficient to carry out everyday tasks. The commissioner said with the allocation of the American Rescue Plan funding, as well as numerous grants from various parts of federal and state levels, broadband expansion is moving forward. The county government right now has also qualified for a critical need of broadband in Warren, PA. The deadline for consultants to submit their proposals to help expand the network is January 23rd. The county will announce the decision on which agency will be hired on or before February 8th of next year. Well, we're all looking forward to happy holidays, but new research shows that more people die of heart attacks between December 25th and January 1st than any other time of the year. The things we enjoy the most about holidays, the hustle, the bustle, visits from family and friends, and the rich, delicious meals and holiday drinks, can all be a contributing factor to cardiac troubles. Routine diet and sleep can impact breathing and oxygen levels and lead to inflammation. Respiratory viruses like COVID and colds may constrict blood vessels and put pressure on your heart. One high-salt meal can increase the risk of a heart attack 4 times, and sobering up from too much alcohol can trigger AFib. The other issue is that people are less likely during the holidays to seek medical help for their symptoms, thinking they'll wait till after Christmas. Dr. Richard Petrella, he's the chair of cardiovascular medicine and surgery at UPMC Hammett, says, don't wait.
Unfortunately, there are a large number of folks who come to the hospital late, the next day, hours later, and our ideal time to treat a heart attack is usually within the first hour of symptoms. And as you get beyond 6 hours and 12 hours, it's diminishing return. You should still come, but we can really have the biggest impact in reducing death if we get to you early.
Some practical tips from the American Heart Association include reducing your stress, don't overeat or drink, get some physical activity, and recognize the signs of a heart attack. And if you do feel it coming on, do not wait to get help. Governor Kathy Hochul recently signed a legislative package to expand affordable housing and announcing new housing development initiatives here in New York. Our Capitol correspondent Elise Klein spoke with urban policy experts about how this could impact all New Yorkers.
Following the pandemic, New York continues to suffer from a housing crisis. Governor Kathy Hochul recently signed a legislative package that would promote and expand affordable housing. And today she also announced new housing developments in eastern and western New York. Some experts say increasing the housing supply is important, but it doesn't by itself solve the state's affordability housing issues.
In many cases, very low-income people simply can't afford the basic cost of operating a housing unit.
Schwartz says this is where housing subsidies come in. A housing subsidy is a government-sponsored economic assistance aimed towards relieving housing costs and expenses. Jenny Schutz from the Brookings Metro says subsidies are essential.
Incomes just haven't kept up with the cost of rent and housing, and even things like utilities. So low-income and moderate-income households will need to have some kind of assistance.
The housing legislative package essentially includes expansions for housing and rental affordability programs and to allow maximum rental assistance subsidies to be collected for rent-regulated housing. It also further protects tenants against hazardous conditions and mismanaged properties. Since the pandemic, where people are working from home, Schutz says there is a higher demand for housing, and increasing the housing supply will go a long way in addressing housing affordability.
The high demand parts of the state haven't been building enough housing to keep up with population growth and job growth for quite a long time.
In Albany, Elise Klein, WNY News Now.
Elise, thank you. According to the Pennsylvania Department of Health, the number of babies born with congenital syphilis is at its highest level in 32 years. In Harrisburg, health doctors and officials urged pregnant people to get tested for syphilis during pregnancy to prevent congenital syphilis. The disease is a result of a pregnant individual with syphilis then passing it on to their unborn child. Officials are surprised at the uptick in cases due to the fact that it's extremely preventable. They say getting screened is the best way to reverse the current trend.
We've seen a tremendous rise in rates of syphilis, especially congenital syphilis. We really would have thought that congenital syphilis had gone away for good. This really is a condition that's completely preventable.
Officials are reminding healthcare professionals about the importance of testing parents for syphilis during pregnancy. They recommend testing for syphilis 3 times during the course of a pregnancy, first at a prenatal visit, second in the 3rd trimester, and then again at delivery. Well, coming up when we return, Andrew has more on a major winter storm and what to expect with record snows possibly coming to our region during the Christmas holiday. Snow, high winds, all in the forecast. Don't go anywhere. Info you need to know after this.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer. She's on the honor roll. She's just not the type.
No way.
No way. No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping. Maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
WNY News Now is covering stories that matter to you.
15-year-old Yadiel Diaz was subject to a public humiliation stunt by a fellow student in an act of violence and bullying. Now Yadiel's mother, Raquel, has had enough.
Officials are trying to work with the county's homeless coalition to help support the homeless population locally. There are also plans in the works to build 2 new shelters.
WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Slow down.
Slow down and move over.
Move over.
When you see signs,
Lights.
Vests.
please give us some room.
Slow down.
Slow down and move over.
When you need help,
It's our job
To help you.
to save you.
despite the danger.
This danger is real. Do your part.
Please
Slow down. Slow down. And move over.
move over.
Wishing you a safe and happy holiday season. WNY News Now, the Jolly Team, where coverage comes first.
Fast, accurate, and everyday. First Defense Weather.
Welcome back to WNY News Now at noon. Currently in downtown Jamestown, we're under cloudy skies. The temperature was 28 degrees at the Jamestown Airport as of the noon hour, with a south wind of 3 miles per hour and the visibility was 10 miles per hour. Here's what's happening across the northeast right now. We can consider this the calm before the storm as high pressure is building in. That's going to provide dry weather through the rest of the day into tomorrow. Don't worry about those snow showers off to our west. Nothing is going to come out of that as high pressure will maintain that dry weather through at least through tomorrow. But we are talking about this winter storm that's coming up this weekend. Winter storm watches, as I said at the top, have already been posted for areas out to our west across Illinois, Indiana, and even into Ohio. Now going through the next few days, it was likely that the National Weather Service here in Western New York will issue winter storm watches and possibly even high wind watches over the next few days as we get closer to the weekend. Now here are the weather impacts for this week, and I'll try to talk it through it slow so we know what's going on. On Thursday, it's going to be mainly a rain event on Thursday as temperatures will start off in the 30s and rise up into the upper 30s and close to 40 through the afternoon and into Thursday night. So all the precipitation should stay as rain into Thursday night. On Friday, a strong cold front is going to plow by the region. That's going to drop the temperatures, which should make it into the low 40s early on in the morning, but those temperatures will drop like a rock as that cold front pushes through. We're talking about temperatures ended up in the 20s and the teens by the end of the day. That's going to change all the rain over into snow, and it's also going to increase the winds as Friday night into Saturday. It really looks like winds are really going to pick up across the area with wind gusts up to 50, possibly even 60 miles per hour. So when we do get snow and we get those winds, it's going to create blowing snow and possibly whiteout conditions Friday afternoon into Friday night. So if you have any traveling to do, any Christmas shopping to do, today and tomorrow would be your days to get it done, because it will turn very active as we head in towards the end of the week and into Christmas weekend. At least for the next 48 hours, as I said, nothing much happening. Plenty of clouds across the region. Those clouds will begin to scatter out as we head into the night. We'll go partly to mostly cloudy skies overnight. Looks like another dry day tomorrow. Partly to mostly sunny skies. Should have plenty more sunshine around tomorrow, but those clouds will be on the increase as we head into tomorrow night and into Thursday morning out ahead of that low pressure system, and rain showers will begin to approach the area Thursday morning, possibly with a few wet snowflakes early on Thursday. So for the rest of the afternoon out there, mainly cloudy skies, maybe limited peaks of sunshine, but the clouds will hang tough through the afternoon. Temperatures slightly below average, upper 20s at the hilltops to lower 30s across the lower elevations. For the night, mostly partly cloudy skies, maybe a scattered flurry, but most of the area should be dry overnight. Mid-teens for the low temperatures in the valleys to lower 20s across the lakeshore. Now the next 7 days brought to you by Automatic Satellite Solutions. We're continuing to watch Thursday and Friday. Wet snow Thursday changes over into rain. Rain to snow on Friday as that strong cold front pushes through the region and becomes quite windy Friday night into Saturday. And then lake effect snow is going to set up for the weekend. Where those lake effect snow bands do end up setting up will be determined, as well as how much snow accumulation we will get out of that. One thing is for certain is it will turn downright cold. Heading into Christmas, we're talking about highs in the teens and lows in the lower single digits and wind chills below zero just in time for Christmas, Justin.
Ooh, yeah, Santa Claus definitely going to have to bundle up on Saturday night, Andrew. Thank you. Well, let's get some headlines now from across the nation. And a Los Angeles jury has found Harvey Weinstein guilty of sexual assault. The disgraced movie producer is accused of using his Hollywood influence to lure women into private meetings and assault them. Of the 7 charges he faced, Weinstein was found guilty on 3: forcible oral copulation of Jane Doe 1, sexual penetration by a foreign object of a second Jane Doe, and forcible rape of another. The jury found him not guilty of 1 count, but could not reach a unanimous verdict on the other 3. Well, the committee investigating the January 6, 2021 U.S. Capitol attack made several criminal referrals to the Department of Justice against former President Donald Trump. Our Washington, D.C. correspondent Rachel Knapp breaks it down.
In a bombshell final hearing,
we proposed to the committee advancing referrals where the gravity of the specific offense, the severity of its actual harm, and the centrality of the offender to the overall design of the unlawful scheme to overthrow the election compel us to speak.
The House Select Committee investigating the January 6 U.S. Capitol attack approved 4 criminal referrals for Trump to the Department of Justice: obstruction of an official proceeding, conspiracy to defraud the United States, conspiracy to make a false statement, and incite, assist, or aid or comfort an insurrection.
He summoned a mob to Washington, and knowingly they were armed and angry, pointed them to the Capitol and told them to fight like hell.
No former president has ever been the subject of a criminal referral from Congress. But after an intense 18-month investigation into Trump's efforts to overturn the 2020 election that resulted in the U.S. Capitol attack, the committee laid out their case, highlighting clips from previous hearings.
He wanted to talk about that he thought the election had been stolen or was corrupt, and that there was widespread fraud. And I had told him that our reviews had not shown that to be the case.
Testimony from their investigation.
I remember Pat saying something to the effect of, "Mark, we need to do something more. They're literally calling for the vice president to be effing hung."
And showing video at the Capitol on that dark day. Members on the committee say the only way to prevent another January 6th is accountability, and they are pointing the finger at the former president.
He is unfit for any office.
At the U.S. Capitol, Rachel Knapp reporting.
Rachel, thank you. The panel is encouraging the Department of Justice to investigate the former president for those 4 crimes, but it's unclear whether the DOJ will take up the charges. The committee approved a final report, which they say will be released later this week. Well, just ahead of Friday's deadline, U.S. lawmakers unveiled a massive year-long funding bill that would prevent a government shutdown. The $1.7 trillion bill, which is known as the congressional circles as an omnibus, would provide financial backing for federal agencies in the 2023 fiscal year. The measure came after long talks between Democratic and Republican leaders. The text of the bill, which is more than 4,000 pages long, was released today by the Senate and House Appropriations Committee. Leaders in the Senate plan to pass the bill Thursday, then pass it on over to House lawmakers. If approved through the House as is, it will then go on to President Joe Biden, who could sign it into law. Well, coming up next, hear how a local nursing home is giving back this holiday season, sending their employees on a all-expense-paid vacation.
Wishing you a safe and happy holiday season. WNY News Now, the Jolly Team, where coverage comes first.
I know what you're thinking. I need a job. I need a new career.
Well, I've been there.
I've been there.
I've been there. I wasn't happy with what I was doing. After high school, I didn't have a plan.
I just wanted to start working. I got laid off twice, but you gotta keep going.
You just need the right skills. Find an apprenticeship.
I found a 2-year IT program.
I found a medical course online.
I'm now a consultant in the tech space.
You have more options than you think. You can do this. You will find something.
You will find something new.
There's an old saying, there's no news in the newsroom. Well, it's true. The time I spend at the anchor desk is just part of my day. Most of our time is spent gathering stories in the community, stories that matter to you. We can't do it alone, and we need your help. When you see breaking news or have a news tip we should know about, drop us a line on Facebook today, email our news desk, or call our newsroom at 488-7226 so we can bring those stories straight back to you.
Right here, baby. Look. Uma.
Noah. Something more than a birthday is happening here. Once you can see it, you can help. The sooner you recognize the signs of autism, the sooner you can make a lifetime of difference for your child. Start by answering a few simple questions at screenforautism.org.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
For the second year in a row, a local nursing home is awarding dedicated employees with cash prizes and paid time off. Our Julia Gress shares the story.
Last year, we started our Merriest of Christmases Golden Ticket nominations as a way to give back to our staff.
Employees nominated their co-workers in heritage facilities nationwide, and after receiving numerous votes, the second prize winner was awarded to a Jamestown employee. Purchasing coordinator Renee Bean says being chosen to receive a Golden Ticket vacation this holiday season was a shock.
I was surprised that they came in and they awarded this to me, and very honored to be chosen, nominated for my co-workers.
She started working at Heritage Park in Jamestown only a year ago and works hard to find the best prices for the medical supplies and equipment needed for the facility, which is especially difficult with current inflation.
My thinking is, it's the resident's home. So we have to make sure that we provide savings and cost that way.
The importance of all staff being able to provide residents the best care is a top priority for those at Heritage Ministries.
You do see that there's a lot of recognition. When you think of healthcare, you think of nurses and doctors and aides, but there's a lot going on behind the scenes that help the organization function.
Employees were nominated across all departments, like dietary, nursing, maintenance, and housekeeping. Along with the nominations, employees wrote why they think their coworker deserves the prize. prize and how working with that person has benefited the residents.
And we will randomly select the names. And so Renee was number 2. And so we're super excited to share it with her today.
The $1,500 and 3 days of paid time off winner tentatively plans a trip to Las Vegas with her husband. 2 other winners were awarded as well.
Our first place winner is RJ Myers. She is actually a unit attendant here at the Green over in Greenhurst, our skilled nursing community there. And our third place winner is Sean DeLello. He is our food service director out at Ives Hill, which is in Watertown, New York.
Julia Gress, WNY News Now.
Wow, such a deserving individual, and thanks to all of our frontline healthcare workers for sure. Well, that is it for WNY News Now today. We'll leave you with this live look over Route 394 Fairmount Avenue in Lakewood. Have a great day. We'll see you back here tomorrow for News Now at noon.